Look at my ice balls. Ooh. Hi, good morning. It is currently 8:12 Monday, June 30th, and guess what? It's my first day of school of studying abroad. For those of you who don't know, I am currently in South Korea Yonsei University, and I will be studying abroad for the summer for 6 weeks through the program called the YISS. And today's the first day of classes. Don't know what to expect. Honestly though, I only have one goal in mind, and that is I want to make at least one friend, because if you guys saw my last video where I moved into my dorm and attended orientation, you would know that I ended the video all alone because I could not make any friends. So my goal for today is to have at least one friend, so I'm not lonely for the whole trip. Let's get it. My first class starts at 9, and that's a media psychology class, and that class is for my major. I kind of know where the building is, but I gotta like find the room number and all that, so we're gonna be leaving out right now so I don't be late to class. Because for those of you who don't know, Korea is very strict with attendance. Even if you're 30 seconds late, you're tardy. And attendance counts so much. If you miss 1/3 of your class, you automatically fail. So I don't want that to happen to me. So yeah, let's head out, shall we? Toodaloo! Ah, what a beautiful and sunny day. The birds were chirping, and the sun was shining, and I was defying gravity! I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Aside from this ajashi constantly photobombing my picture and pissing me off, what else could possibly go wrong? Since I left my dorm early, I had some time to kill and decided to take photos to commemorate my study abroad journey in South Korea. Fun fact, when I told people that my one goal while attending uni was to study abroad in Korea, so many people responded by saying, "Oh, like EXO-Kitty?" Dumbass! Listen guys, say that I'm unladylike, talk about my appearance, make fun of my hairline, goddammit, but don't you ever compare me to EXO-Kitty or any Jenny Han character for that matter. That is the biggest insult of mankind. I say that, but my sister and I also auditioned for that show, so... You know what, Netflix? If you want a good, funny, relatable character that your audience will like, imagine a rebellious girl who was born into a wealthy family but has a weed addiction and likes to drown herself in edibles. Her parents has had enough of her rebelling tantrum, so they sent her off to Korea to rehabilitate, since weed here is... There she meets the main characters and terrorizes them until the point they give up on their dreams and go home, and boom! EXO-Kitty finale, finished. Anyways, back to me and my study abroad journey, because I'm better than EXO-Kitty. While enjoying the scenic view, I realized that my first class was actually close by. How convenient! Until I realized that there was a shit ton of stairs waiting to ambush me. After trekking up all those stairs, it was time for me to enter my first battle of the day. Media psychology. Where I sat in the front row and started sweating like a sinner in church. A little while later, our professor came in, and that's when class begun. My first class was very chill. The professor introduced himself and all the schools he went to. In order to kill time, he asked if we could stand up and introduce ourselves one by one, and this is what I decided to say to make a good first impression of myself.
I go to UCLA and I'm a communications major, and I think UCLA is better than USC because it's not that expensive.
Okay, great. Welcome.
We're off to a great start. Now, since our professor was chill and there wasn't much to do, he decided to let us out early. During this time, some UCEAP friends I acquired decided to head over to the UCEAP office to pick up free merch! Insert a random video of me at 4:37 a.m. showing you my haul, since I forgot to do it the day of. Look at this Yonsei shirt. Wow. Honestly, not a huge fan of it. Kinda looks plain and generic like me. But hey, this will be a great pajama shirt, so no complaints here. Up next, I got this umbrella. Yellow and furbished like my face. Another pajama shirt in the house! Great for many activities such as taking a crap and even exercising. Yeah, right, I'm not gonna exercise. Walking up all those stairs is enough. Y'all like them trade your host canvas bag? Well, now you can get a Yonsei style one to show the whole world that you're an overachieving douchebag. Okay, haul's over. Back to the video. After digging around the co-op store, it was time to head towards my second class of the day, which was all the way towards the main gate of campus. My second class was an introduction to computer graphics class, where I would learn the basic fundamental skills of creating art and photoshopping on my personal computer. It's been 2 days since I last shot this video. You're probably wondering, what happened? Let's just say the events that took place after my computer graphics class was
absolutely atrocious.
Oh, but I thought things were going so well. What happened?
Yeah, I thought so too, until I ended the day in literal tears. So this portion of the video is just gonna be me telling you guys what happened and all the events that went down. Unfortunately, I have very little to no footage. and you'll find out why. So our period 2 class, which for me was my computer graphics design class, ends at 12:40, and our period 3 class, which for me was Korean language institution, starts at 1:30. So we have a 50-minute break in between to do whatever we want. Now my friends and I decided to hit up the cafeteria because none of us ate breakfast, so we were kind of hungry, and we thought that 50 minutes was sufficient enough time for all of us to, you know, eat food and get to class on time. And we all had KLI classes, so we were all heading towards the same direction at the end of the day. However, the problem was that we weren't the only students with that 50-minute break time, so can you guess where everyone else was as well? Yeah, so we realized that we were gonna have to wait in line for quite a bit, and we were gonna have an even tighter schedule. Now I decided to get my phone and take a picture of the menu to look at the menu while I wait in line, and I decided to order 2 jumokbaps because I didn't want to order a full meal and not have enough time to finish it and throw the rest away. Spoiler alert, I was only able to eat 1 jumokbap because we only had 10 minutes to eat by the time we got our food and sat down at a table. So yeah, we were working at a hella time crunch. Now we all had to just chow down our food and go and run to our class, and let me tell you something. The weather in South Korea during the summer is literal hell. Like, this is what I imagine being in the fiery depths of hell is like. Just hot, humid, you just want to melt and die. And what makes it worse is that Yonsei has so many stairs and hills, so I was not able to run to class. And I just accepted that I was going to be 10 minutes late to class because it's just the first day of school, so I thought that the professor was just going to talk about themselves and like the syllabus. You know, I didn't think I was missing out on much. Now flash forward 10 minutes later, I finally arrive at the KLI building, and I'm about to head into the elevator when this girl just stops me from going in. And then this chick looks at me and says,
Oh, are you from the YISS program?
and I'm like, yeah. And then she's like,
You're at the wrong building. Go to the next one.
and I thought that was a little strange because my phone literally said that my classroom was in the KLI building, the 4th floor. But for some reason, my dumbass just took her advice like the little sheep I am. So I walk all the way to this other random ass building. I go in, I go to the 4th floor. It's deserted. There wasn't a single person in the hallway. Actually, there was one, which I caught him and said, "Excuse me, sir, help me find this classroom." And do you know what this man says?
You're in the wrong building.
And I was like, okay, where is my building? And he was like, oh, right behind us. That's where I was in the first place. This girl, I don't know who she is, but she set me up. She was out to get me and wanted me to fail today. So I run all the way back to the original building I was, board the elevator, go to the 4th floor, and there's this bridge I had to cross to get to my classroom. And right as I'm about to cross this bridge, this freaking Korean ajashi comes out of nowhere and just yells at me, "Stop!" Like, I'm sorry, are you a troll guarding the bridge? And then he says to me in like broken English that like I had to prove that my class was in this building. So this man like gets my phone and is trying to help me log in, but saying like, oh, it's too small, like he can't see. And by the way, he's like speaking broken English because he can't speak English very well. So I'm like speaking in Korean, like, oh, like should I take out my laptop? Tell me why the minute I start speaking in Korean, this man's attitude completely changes and he's like, oh my god, you're Korean? Yes. Really, ho? So anyways, I pull out my computer and this man doesn't know what he's doing because he can't help me log in or prove my identification. So he goes into this random classroom, finds this random white guy just sitting like minding his own business, and then he says to him like, "You, help her." So this guy just gets up out of his seat, like helps me log in, and guess what? My login fails. So then this man tells me to go 2 stories down to like this main office building, get my identification from there, get some stuff, I don't really know, but he's just telling me to do all this stuff. So I go down 2 flights of stairs, go to the main office, prove that I'm a student here, I do all that jazz, and finally they give me this freaking post-it note which is like proof that I'm a student in my classroom and whatnot. Now at this point, I'm like 25 minutes late, mind you, and I have my computer out, I have all my things out, I'm like sweating like crazy, I'm so discombobulated. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what, I'm already pretty late, let me just find a bench or a table, collect myself, you know, calm myself down before I enter class because I'm like a literal mess. Now I find the nearest table, I put all my stuff down, I'm cleaning my stuff, and I'm feeling that my back is like dripping with sweat, it's like soaked. So I thought, okay, I'll get my phone, I'll take a picture of my back, and I'll see how it looks. My phone was gone. Now I had no idea what to do, so I decided to message the Discord being like, hey, girly pop, has anyone seen my phone? And obviously they're like, girl, how'd you lose your phone and where's the last time you used it? And at first I'm like, oh, I last used it at the cafeteria to, you know, take a picture of the menu. But then I'm at the table and I'm realizing, wait, why is my computer out? Why is there stuff strewn everywhere? What got me here in the first place? And I remembered that there was an ajushi guarding the bridge and told me I had to prove my identification with my phone. He had my phone! This guy stole my phone! So I run 2 stories up, back to the freaking bridge, and guess what? Man disappeared like Houdini. Now I'm thinking, there's no way this man stole my phone. You know, maybe I left it at the office. So I run 2 stories down to the office and I'm like, excuse me, hey, do you guys have my phone? Did I leave it? And they're like, no, there's no phone with us. So then I run back 2 stories up and I'm trying to like retrace all my steps. And then I find that white guy in his room just minding his own business. The white guy that the ajushi like forced to help me. So I like go in the room and I tap on his shoulder and I'm like, hey, listen, I know you're probably busy with class because it's gonna start soon, but do you know who that man was who asked you to help me because he took my phone? And this guy with like his accent, I think it was Australian or British, and he was like, he stole your phone? That was offensive, I'm not gonna do that. He stole your phone? Yeah. And now I'm freaking out at this point because nobody knows this man. This guy was probably a thief just preying on young girls and stealing their phones. So at this point, I'm like on my last straw. I run back down 2 stories and I go to the front office. I'm like, hey guys, I know you guys know this man. You see your brain? Use your brain. Like, think deep. Who is this man? You have to help me find him. And then one girl was like, wait, are you talking about this middle-aged man, this tall, short hair, like kind of an ajushi? And I'm like, yes, that guy stole my phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
So we go 1 story up to the 3rd floor, go all the way towards the end of the hall, and we're in this like tiny little office building, and guess who I lay my eyes upon? The troll ajushi. We made eye contact, and he and I both at the same time went. And he looked at me and says, phone! And I'm like, yes, you have my phone. And then he's like, yeah, I was waiting for you this whole time in my office. Why didn't you come and get me? Bitch, I don't know who the fuck you are. How the fuck am I supposed to know who you were? But anyways, he gives me my phone. That's the end of that. So I got my phone. It's here. But now at this point, I am like 36 minutes late to class. But then again, I'm thinking, okay, it's a pretty big class. No one's gonna really care that like I arrived 40 minutes late. So I finally find my classroom. I enter. Guess what? There were only 15 students. And all the seats were taken. Now I kind of just stand there like, okay, what do I do? And the professor's like giving me the biggest like steak eye ever. Yeah, no, she was appalled that I was 40 minutes late to her class.
Korea is very strict with attendance.
Now since there were like no seats for me, she made me like drag this like desk and chair set in front of her classroom all the way like towards the door. And like, ugh. Die of a heat stroke because I was going up and down so many flights of stairs. It's hot outside. I now had to drag this like desk chair combo to where I had to go. So I'm sweating like balls here. And my mom gave me this fan, which, you know, to like help me when I'm sweating balls. Yeah, it's cute, it's cool, it's efficient. So I turn this on because I'm 2 seconds away from dying of a heat stroke. And this teacher is like giving me the biggest bombastic stankiest side eye ever. She just slowly turns her head, looks at me, and by the way, the class is like super duper freaking quiet. Like I'm wondering, why the hell is this class so quiet? Why is no one talking, or why is the professor not teaching? And then immediately my professor says, okay guys, hand in your quizzes. Now why the long story short, I was this close to just walking out of the classroom. The door was right there. I was miserable. I wanted to go home. I was having such a bad day. Luckily, the class was only an hour because I showed up 40 minutes late. So I just sat through that class for an hour just imagining myself jumping off of the KLI building. Yeah, it was really rough. So yeah, I dropped out of that class. I decided to make my second period luxury fashion brand management, which is a business class that talks about why and how luxury brands are so powerful and successful even though they're so like closed off and expensive. It's actually a really interesting class and the teacher is really nice. Plus I made new friends there, which is really good because in the KLI class, everyone already made friends since I was 40 minutes late. So yeah, I'm glad I actually have people I can talk to in this class. And I moved my computer graphics design class to third period instead since that was an option. So yeah, that's how my first couple of days went. The first day was really rough, but I'm glad that it got a lot better now. But on the bright side, I made a bunch of friends and now I like eat with them, hang out with them, so it's been really cool. So yeah, I guess that's that. I was contemplating whether or not I should scrap this video, but I then decided that I want to edit and upload it because I want to laugh at this in the future since it was just so hectic and chaotic and I was literally crying after the first day. So yeah, that's why I uploaded this atrocious video. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you found something informative or funny or I don't know. And I'll see you next time where things hopefully go well in my life. And please stay safe from trolls who try to steal your phone. Alright, bye!